Hi, I'm Alex, and today I'm here to tell you all the books that I actually hated, but I still recommend. There are a couple reasons to read a book. One, probably what most sane people do, is you read a book because you want a great experience. You want to be entertained. You want to experience a new world. You want something memorable, something that feels like art. And if you're sane, that's probably the route that you usually go. If you're crazy like me, you might pick up a book because you want inside information on the status of humanity. And sometimes I'll read a book just for the experience, just to feel something, you know? And so this video is going to be about the books that I hated, but that I still recommend. Will it surprise you that half of these books are Colleen Hoover books? Maybe not, but we're still gonna have fun. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with a Colleen Hoover book called Verity. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure you've heard of it. But this is a thriller of sorts. This is a book about an author who gets an opportunity to ghostwrite for a really big author who has had an accident of sorts. And so this author moves in to the famous author's house and does some digging, does some research into this author and how she thinks and how she writes so that she can continue the series that this author has already started. And some strange things ensue. And I don't want to give anything away of this book, but it's just an experience that I think every reader who has this desire to torture themselves should have. It's a book that I thought about for a really long time after I was finished with it. So that is my praise for Colleen Hoover, is that every book of hers that I've read, I've thought about for several days after I'm done reading the book. Each book I've read of hers, I've not considered a great work of art. But I will say that I was entertained, thoughts were provoked, so something has to be said for that, in my opinion. The next Colleen Hoover book that I hated but still recommend is November 9. Is that what it's called? Yes. The title really bugs me because I feel like it should have been November 9th, because that's how most human beings would say that. Not November 9, but that's just my personal feeling on the matter. November 9 is about two strangers who meet on the day that the female main character is moving away. And so they decide that they want to see more of each other, so they tell each other that they will meet on November 9 every year. I went into this after reading Verity, after reading It Starts With Us, It Ends With Us. I went into this one, and more than halfway through the book, I remember thinking, this is just gonna be a normal romance. She's capable of it. It's just normal. It's just really basic, really sweet. No, not normal, not sweet. No, not at all. I remember thinking, why would someone write this? Why would someone do this to me? I definitely did not see the twist coming. And I feel hesitant to tell you that there's a twist because I did not know there was a twist and was not expecting one. And so I think that helped the experience. So sorry for taking that away from you, but if we're talking about why I hated it, this has to be mentioned. Okay, so I'm not going to say much about this book because I don't want to give give things away. I will tell you that I hated it, and I will tell you that I recommend it. And that's all I'm gonna say about it, pretty much. And that it's a Colleen Hoover book. And I think those things will give you the information you need to make the decision you need to make. The next one is kind of cheating because I don't necessarily hate it, but I don't think that it was that great, but I still highly recommend it. And that is the ever popular ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Though most know about it, have heard of it, and kind of know what it's about. It is about a girl named Feyre who lives in a rundown shack in a lowly town, but ventures out into the woods because she likes to hunt. And she hunts what she thinks is a wolf, but is indeed a fae. And she gets in trouble and she has to be held captive. And that's all I'll say, because any more than that, and I'm like running the book for you, but it's definitely a fantasy book, romance fantasy one. Like I said, it's kind of clickbait to say that I hated this. I didn't hate it. It was just meh to me. It was not, I enjoyed the last like third. I thought that was really, really great. I still think about it. It's very vivid in my mind. A lot of the times I measure a book and how good it is by how vividly it stays in my mind. And the last third of this book was really memorable to me. And that kept me going to the second book. I'm sure this is not an original feeling that I've had, that this book wasn't so great, but the second book was really great. The second book was one of my favorite books. This book was just meh. And to say I hated it is pretty extreme, okay? Did I hate it? No. Did I just think it was okay? Yes. Did it keep me going? Was it good enough to keep me going to the second book? Yes. It got saved in the last half, but beginning was just mediocre, I'd say. So I'm really glad that this series got better, because I did really, really enjoy the series, but the first book was meh. The next one I can safely say that I hated it, but recommend it, was Gothicana. This is a dark romance, fantasy. This book, I'm having a hard time explaining this book. First of all, this is a beautiful book. That's what lured me in. I thought this book looks really interesting and different. So that's actually why I bought it, because I thought it was pretty, you know. It shows you the 180 that I took, because I just bought this because I thought it was pretty. And then it just destroyed my soul. So read it. Plot-wise, this book is about a girl who goes to a school, a university, that takes place at kind of a cursed / magical castle, I guess you could say. And she meets a professor, of all people, who she fancies. And they take a journey together. So that's kind of what you're in for here, just plot-wise. There are, just a trigger warning, there are what I found to be plot holes in the ending. That's something that I really hated. This book had me worrying for the author. Concern for the author. Why would you write this? Are you okay? I just want to make, is everything good? I will say that this book had a lot of mommy daddy alone time moments. So keep that in mind. Be prepared for that. I felt like this book was romance as much as it was just physical time. And so that I hated, because I don't mind those moments as long as they're enhancing a romance that's happening. And I felt like there was less, these people didn't know anything about each other. They didn't. And the things they did know weren't good. So this is more just like curiosity killed the cat type of situation. I made my best friend read this and she has not forgiven me since. I will just say that this was interesting. It left me confused. And there were just moments that I was like, oh. So that's all I can say about it. Just that if you're just feeling like you want to be destroyed a little, just go ahead and read this book. So there you have it. If you are also, like me, a glutton for punishment and you enjoy reading books that you hate, here's 4 options for you. Here are just a couple options. If you're looking for something that's just gonna make you feel something, just gonna make you feel something, you're used to feeling good and happy and complete in your soul when you read a book, try these ones out for some contrast, you know? You might like it. You might like hate reading books like me. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope that gave you some food for thought. Please take a look at my channel, give it a subscribe if you wouldn't mind. My channel's very new, so I would really appreciate it. And I'm hoping to make more videos and kind of get started in this journey. So thank you for your support, and until next time.